Listen, I got into personal development at 14 years old. I'm 44 now. When I was younger, I was really skinny, I got bullied, and I suffered from extreme shyness around girls. Now, I'm not saying I'm the most successful guy in the world. There are a lot of men who are ahead of me in the game, but the progress that I've made over the years is undeniable. Over the past 30 years, I've experimented with countless habits. Some of them worked, while others were a complete waste of time. Now, in this video, we're gonna talk about some habits you've probably heard of, and we're gonna talk about other habits you've definitely never heard of. It's very important that you listen to all the habits because they tie into each other, and at the end, I'm gonna assign them a specific ranking depending on where you are in your personal development journey. Some of these are gonna be absolutely critical in getting you to that next level, whereas other ones you're gonna wanna avoid at all costs. So with that, let's dive in. Habit number 1, porn. I'm gonna show you how porn literally makes you less attractive. Unless you've been living under a rock, you've heard that porn is incredibly damaging physically, mentally, and emotionally. Worst of all, watching porn can lead you to not being able to get erections. Let me tell you my story with porn. I used to watch porn casually thinking, what's the big deal? There's nothing wrong with this. But then one day I stumbled upon a video on YouTube called The Great Porn Experiment. While watching that video, I learned the following things. I'm gonna read off my laptop. Porn causes depression, isolation, social anxiety, the loss of motivation to talk to women, resentment against women. You can't get hard, you can't get erections. Your dopamine gets fucked, so you need more stimulation just to get turned on. Finally, some people even experience a change in their sexual preferences. Meaning, if you're straight and you watch enough porn, you're gonna start watching gay porn or other kinds of porn. Now, side note, nothing against gay people, nothing against you if you're pansexual, bisexual, all the more power to you if you are. All we're saying here is that porn can even affect your sexual preferences. So personally for me, once I heard that it may affect my erections, I was out of there. I'm like, no more porn for me. Now here's something you may not have known. What qualifies as porn? Number 1, porn, but also looking at hot girls anywhere, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, that counts as porn. Swiping on dating apps, that counts as porn. Webcam girls, that counts as porn. The reason all these things count as porn is because they're hyper-stimulating your dopamine centers and you're swiping, scrolling, dopamine. And so when we say stop porn, we mean stop looking at hot girls anywhere online. Here's another thing you may not know. All the algorithms, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pornhub, they're all built around the same kind of algorithm. Massive corporations have spent billions of dollars in scientific research on how to exploit our weaknesses as a human being and get us addicted to these different various platforms. And here's a side note about social media. When you watch social media, that causes depression, anxiety, a low self-esteem. Why? Because social media, by definition, is, hey, let me compare me to everyone else. The fastest way to make yourself miserable is to compare yourself to others. Just like in the movie The Matrix, you need to unplug and stop being so hyperstimulated. Phone, scrolling, watching. Stop, step away, unplug. Go for a workout, go for a walk, journal, meditate, get centered in yourself. Now, let me tell you how watching porn literally makes you less attractive. I'm a dating coach for men. And many of my clients, when they first start working with me, they're very hyper-stimulated. They're not grounded. They're kind of like anxious and they're kind of like this, right? And then I do an audit and I figure out they're addicted to porn. They're addicted to social media. They're addicted to their phone. They're overusing Netflix, YouTube. They're gaming too much. They're not centered, right? So here's what you need to get. When you're hyper-stimulated, you're kind of like, your energy is kind of like this. I'm exaggerating it a bit, but it's basically you're not grounded. And when a man's energy is kind of like this and hyper-stimulated, then he's not attractive. So we need to take a breath, get out of our head and into our bodies. When you're in social media, porn, etc., you're in your head, you're in your cerebral. An attractive man, to be an attractive man, is to be someone who is grounded and anchored in his body. Do you feel the difference in my energy now? If you want to show up and have an attractive presence in a room while you talk to a woman, she must feel that you are grounded. And the only way to achieve this groundedness is to not be hyperstimulated throughout your whole day and thinking that I can scroll on social media and porn and YouTube and gaming and everything, and then I can get grounded once I talk to a woman. It's not gonna happen, bro. If you're hyperstimulated for 80, 90% of your day or 100% of your day, then you're gonna be hyperstimulated in front of a woman, and then you're gonna have this scattered energy, and she is not gonna feel attracted to you. So let that be another motivation for you to unplug, to stop being hyperstimulated, because you need to calm the fuck down. Because you need to get the fuck centered, grounded, so that we feel that your energy is of a calm, grounded, powerful man who is present. Success is a lot about what you don't do. As a successful man, you don't watch porn, you don't scroll endlessly on social media, YouTube, Netflix, you don't game excessively, you don't swipe on dating apps excessively, and you don't piss away your time looking at hot girls online. I strongly suggest you cut off porn completely, and in terms of social media, you can use social media, but don't let social media use you. For example, my job is on social media. I use social media to post content, and sometimes I jump on social media to learn something, but then I jump off. I do not let the algorithm trap me into endlessly scrolling aimlessly like an idiot. Take charge of your life. Don't let these companies exploit your human weaknesses. Habit number 2. Lifting heavy. You know we had to film this outside. I just finished an amazing workout in that calisthenics park right there. I've been asking women a question for years. Would you rather a pretty face or a good body? Without exception, every woman gives me the same answer. Jad, I would take a hot body over a pretty face any day of the week. Let me break down why weightlifting is one of the most important habits I have in my life as a man. Your success in life comes down to your attitude. Another way to describe attitude is your energy. If you're going through life with a bad energy, it doesn't matter how hard you work, you're not going to get the result. Your results in life will always be a mirror reflection of your energy. Lifting heavy weights puts you in a high frequency vibration. Once you're in that high frequency state, you're gonna attract more money to you, you're gonna attract more women to you. And most importantly, you're gonna love yourself more. In today's high-paced and ever-changing environment, we are very stressed. To be a man is like having the weight of the world on your shoulders. The key to being a successful man is you need to make yourself strong first. So the first thing I do in my day is I hit the gym or I go and I do some calisthenics. I pour into me first. Lifting heavy boosts your testosterone, releases stress, puts you in a positive state, and has you look better than most other men in the room. Here's a key takeaway I want you to take from this video. You can't think your way out of a negative state. You need to move your way out of a negative state. When you do an intense workout, you earn your positive state for the day. So you want to start every day by lifting heavy or doing some calisthenics. So let me give you my routine. Early wake up. Protein shake, hit the gym, lift heavy, finish with some cardio, take a cold shower, and then attack the day from that earned positive state. At the time of making this video, I'm 43, I have a flat stomach, I'm in pretty good shape, and I tell you this, there is no confidence like body confidence. So if you want more confidence in business and with women, get in the best shape of your life. As a man, you should be proud to take your shirt off in any room. And if you're not, there's something seriously wrong. Do not underestimate the power of this habit. Oh, you're still here. This brings us to habit number 3. Habit number 3 will 10x your brain power, making you effectively 10 times smarter. It's kind of like taking the limitless pill like Bradley Cooper did in the movie Limitless. Now, before we dive in, if you can approach most women, but when it comes to the drop-dead gorgeous ones, you freeze behind an invisible wall, Seduce with Integrity, my new book, shows you how to break through that prison of fear so you can confidently approach the hottest women and get them out on dates. So if you have a problem of freezing in fear around the hottest women, This book solves that specific problem. Now, if you're like me, you spend a lot of time thinking and trying to figure things out. But if you're like me, also, a lot of times all that thinking doesn't actually cause a positive result in your life. Well, we can change that with one little tweak. When you think on paper instead of in your head, you get epiphanies, answers, and realizations in record time. When I was a teenager, my father wasn't around, and so my mother was raising me. And like I told you, I had a major issue with bullying and with major shyness around women. Now, I was too proud to talk about these things with my mom, and on the other hand, I couldn't talk to my dad. My mom could see that there was something seriously wrong, but I refused to talk about it. She said, "Jad, whatever's bothering you, journal about it, and you'll find the answers." So at 14 years old, being bullied and being paralyzed by fear and insecurity around girls, I sat there and I journaled and journaled and journaled, pages after pages after pages. And through journaling, through thinking on paper, I transformed myself. The following school year, I went back. I faced my bullies, and I also faced my fear of girls. I started being good with girls, flirting with girls, and ultimately I got my first girlfriend and my first French kiss. Fast forward in adult life, I've been able to manifest everything I wanted, my dream business, my dream body, and my dream relationship. And it all started when I put my pen to the page. I just write what I want. I want my dream relationship. I write the vision of that. I want my dream business. I write the vision of that. I want my dream body. I write the vision of that. And then on the flip side, when I have a problem, when I'm overwhelmed, when I can't figure something out, I sit there and I work my problem out. I think it through on paper. And what happens is a genius gets unlocked. It's like having a mentor who knows you better than anyone else. Because when you write, you're tapping into your subconscious mind, which knows everything and has access to infinite intelligence and all the answers. And so by writing, thinking on paper, you are getting full access to all the wisdom in the ether. So whenever you have a problem, whenever you need to process emotions, whenever there's something overwhelming you, you put pen to paper and you write and write and write, you get the answers, you get the solutions, you get the epiphanies. So before I die, I would hand you one of these and one of these. And I would tell you, go be the author of your life. And when life becomes too much, open up these pages and work through it by thinking on paper. And I promise you, every time you will get a solution. Every time you will get that clarity that you're needing. So, success principle number 3, every successful man journals. He thinks on paper. Okay, so what order do we put these habits in? Habit number 1, lift heavy, get yourself into a positive state. The second thing I would do is make a radical refusal to be hyper stimulated. You have the most powerful tool on the universe. But when you're hyper stimulated, you make this all powerful tool stupid. So respect yourself more and unlock more genius by being more present and less hyper-stimulated and reactive. And then the third thing I would tell you to do is start thinking on paper every single day. It could be 5 minutes, sometimes it's 10 minutes. Sometimes I get into an intense session that lasts an hour and a half, even 2 hours. And the reason why sometimes I think on paper for hours on end isn't because I planned to or I wanted to. It is because I get a download from the universe of genius realizations and clarity that helps me in my life, in my business, in my relationships, and in my fitness. So if you want to unlock the genius inside your own brain, if you want to unlock universal AI, make it a habit to think on paper and think less in your head. Listen, brother, at the end of the day, when I was growing up, I didn't have a big brother there or a father to guide me, but I had a dream. And I didn't stop until I got the important things I wanted in my life. I believe that you can get whatever you want in your life. If you have a dream, believe in it, and don't let anyone convince you that you can't have it. If you keep going for what you want and you don't allow these distractions to take you off course, you can get everything you want. Make sure you watch this video next. It ties in very nicely with what we talked about today. My name is Jad T Jones. I got your back.